I want to start with Ronald Acuna Jr. And my question over to you, Jason Stark, a student of history. Could this be the greatest leadoff hitter of all time? If Acuna just stays here where he is through his 20s, is he in that running?
Is Ricky watching?
Yeah. That was Ricky's best power year. Now, he's a better hitter than Ricky. Ricky might be a better offensive player because he's stealing 80 to 100.
Yeah, I think Ronald Acuna Jr. is a breathtaking talent. He's one of the most talented human beings we have ever seen play baseball. I mean, don't you think? He hit a home run 470 feet the other day. You think Juan Pierre was doing that? He leads the league in stolen bases. Look at this thing. He's the stolen base champ. I couldn't find any other stolen base champ in the StatCast era who has hit a ball that far. So we got that part. And then there's the other part. You just showed his numbers. He's slugging 600. He's on pace for 68 steals. You know who else in history has had that year? Not Ricky. Ty Cobb, and that's it. That is it.
All right, so Will, I'll get you here now. Historically, we know you just haven't put a power guy leading off. There's been a change in philosophy. Alfonso Soriano, actually, this is since 1901, highest slugging percentage for a guy who's leading off. That was kind of controversial. He's a low on base. Betts, though, all right. Springer, Turner, those are dynamic offensive players, yet Acuna is kind of next level from that.
Yeah, and with Soriano, like, the on-base was the problem for him. That's not a problem for Acuna.
Right.
And I think this did get lost from that injury, not just, obviously, as you talk about, them not winning the World Series, them winning the World Series without him, but the next year, the thought when he, his first came back, he was back weirdly early. We were kind of surprised that he came back. His first game, he stole a couple bases, if you remember.
He was running okay.
And it was fine, but then you saw kind of the slowdown a little bit. This is what he looks like, truly fully healthy. And listen, I live in Georgia, and I remember the Acuna. Does he hustle enough? Does he go out of the box? There was actually a disagreement with Freddie Freeman, if you'll remember, at the end of that. So I don't think anyone's talking about that now. I think when you have the talent like this, no one's going to argue.
If you're stealing and but although, right, you need to do that. I don't think it wasn't not a thing, Jake, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of a thing. When you're leading the league in slugging and total bases and stolen bases, it's like, can you give one away? Yeah, you can. When you're not, well, you better do everything else.
Well, that's exactly right. And I think what Will's speaking to is the sense of maturity. He's 25 years old now. He's a father. We know what that responsibility in life can do to maturity. When I look at him cutting the K rate, that is a organized effort and a baseball move to get better. With no shifts, this telling me he's using his head. We obviously know his skill level is through the roof. He's the best player in the game right now. When you're talking about defensively, what he does, throwing and playing right field, offensively, get out of here.
See, I know, you're right, Jake. Will, I know you love this. Like, the narrative says, but the narrative comes from somewhere. Right. And the narrative was for a while. Remember, it was who's the best player in baseball? Is it Trout or is it Bryce Harper? Then after a while, it was like, well, this is not a debate. Then it was Bryce Harper's not making all-star games. You can have a bit of a dip. His dip was actually quite small, but coupled with the short season and the knee injury, it's like, maybe it doesn't happen for this guy. I'm glad to see it's happening now.
Yeah, it was a short amount of time. If you look at, in 20 years, when we look back at his career, we're going to be like, wow, why would anyone ever wonder about this guy? But that time, it actually was not a lot of at-bats during that time, but a long period of time.
Correct.
From 19 really until this year, we haven't seen the real him. We certainly have seen it now.